Hey, just welcome back to sort of Is It Worth It? Today's episode, we got this cool thing here, and basically what this is a desktop charger. So the way how they designed this product allow you guys to charge multiple devices at the same time. So if you guys want to charge like 3 laptops at the same time, you do have the option available. Because they mentioned for this one, it provides guys up to 300 watts of power when you have to use it. And it has a GaN technology on here, so that way it can allow you guys to charge it faster, safer, and also spreads out the heat when you have to use it. And because it does use a GaN technology on here, it allows it to be much smaller than your typical charging station, which is really cool. So for the one that we got right here is a brand called Ugreen, and they mentioned how it is a 300 watts, 5-port power delivery GaN fast charger. So this is what the package looks like when you guys do get it. Let me actually open up to show you guys what the inside looks like. So let's do take it out. If you guys do open up, they do have the padding inside. The inside right here, we do have the product, and it is quite big, you can see. But the bottom right here, they do have some more stuff. Take it out first. So the very bottom right here, they do have a box. If you guys do open it, inside the box here, they do provide you guys some user manual to teach you guys how to use it. And they also provide you guys information in terms of how much power it does provide for each different outlet. So if you guys do use only one of them, which is the top one, that will provide you guys 140 watts. If you guys use the bottom one, that'll be 100 watts. The next one will be 100 watts. And the very last one is 45. If you guys do use the USB-A option, that will provide you guys 22.5 watts. But pretty much when you guys plug everything in, it'll spread out between all of them for the 300 watts of power when you guys do that. So keep that in mind. But right here, you see they do provide you guys 2 cables. Let's show you guys what the cable looks like. Let's start with this one here first. So for this one right here, they do provide you guys a high quality USB-C to USB-C cable. And they mentioned for this cable, it supports up to 240 watts, which is a lot of power for you guys to use to charge maybe a laptop or anything else. Maybe if you guys do have a different laptop that can support up to 240, it will support it on here as well. And the way how I know is the fact that they do tell you guys, but also they label on here as well. But when you guys do feel the quality of the cable on here, it's like a nylon braid on here. So it's actually very high quality and very durable. And next up right here, this should be the cable for you guys to power on the device. So let's do take it out. This is what the cable looks like. So it's a grounded 3-prong cable for you to plug it in. And this is the cable you can plug in to actually activate it. And I love how they do give you guys a strap for you guys to organize the cable when you guys do need to. And that's pretty much everything that's included in the package. Last thing we want to show you guys here is the actual product. So let's do take it out. Once you guys do take it out, this is what the product looks like. So we do have the brand name in the front. And here we do have the different outputs for you to use. 4 USB-C option and 1 USB. Like I mentioned, for this one, probably guys 140 watts. This one is 100. This is also 100. This one's supposed to be 45. And this one is supposed to be 22.5 watts for the maximum power on here. So this is what actually looks like in the front. Here's what actually looks like on the side. And you see right here how they do mention how it does provide guys 300 watts of power when you guys do that. And if you guys notice for this product, when you guys do leave your fingerprint on here, it slowly does disappear. So it is anti-fingerprint when you guys do it up to a certain extent, you can see. So here is this side, here is the top, here is our side here, and then here's the back. So the back part right here is where you can plug in cable to actually activate it. And if you guys look carefully on here, they do provide you guys the specs that's on here as well. And then here is the bottom. So the bottom right here, they do have like the non-slip material to prevent it from moving around when you guys do use it. And when you guys do feel the overall weight of the product, it definitely has a little bit of weight to it. So I'm not sure if you can bring this along when you guys are traveling. Maybe you guys can. But it is designed for you guys to use at home or your office to fast charge multiple devices at the same time, especially for the laptop. So that's pretty much everything that's on the product. What I'm doing right now is to plug in the cable to test out and show you guys how it does work when you guys do that. Alright, so for this test, what I want to do is to plug into this tester that we do have here. Then see how much power that's being generated when you guys do that. And pretty much where we could plug this in is into this wall charger that we do have, or a power strip or charging station. That's from the Ugreen brand. So if you guys are interested in this one, feel free to check it out. This one, they mentioned how they do provide guys a maximum of 100 watts when you guys use the USB-C option on here. But the cool thing about this one is the fact that they do give you guys all the different options in the front, but they also give you guys 1 AC option in the top, and then 2 more in the back right here for you guys to use. And it does probably have the GaN technology on here, which is really awesome. So if you guys compare the size of this one versus this one right here, you can see how this one is a lot more bigger for what you guys do get. But this bigger one does not give you guys the AC option for you to use, but this one does. But the big one does give you guys the option to use up to 140 watts of power when you guys do plug it in, which is really awesome. But for this test, what I want to do is plug in here. That we can show you guys how much power it does provide when you guys do use that. So currently it is 0. But if you guys do plug in the other side here, make sure it goes all the way in. Once it goes all the way in, if you guys do look at how much power it does provide even before you guys plug anything in, it does generate a little bit of power on here. But now let's give it a try and see how it does work. So I think what we'll do first is to try out the MacBook Pro first to charge up. Because my battery percentage right now on my MacBook Pro is pretty low. Let me check how low. So right now it's around 16%. So I'm gonna try out using like the MacBook Air cable first to see how that does work when you guys do use that. because this one's supposed to provide up to like 140 watts of power when you do that. So we'll plug it in the top one here first, and the other side we'll plug it into a MacBook Pro, which is right here. So I do plug it in. You can see how it does light up. And when you guys do look at how much power that does provide, you can see how the number is definitely going pretty high. So right now it's providing around 126 watts of power when you guys do that. And the power on here is changing when you guys do that. You can see how it's going up and down. It looks like it went as high as 140 something when you guys do that. So maybe when you guys are running stuff in the background for your device, like a MacBook device, you probably go even higher. Like right now, if I do turn it on, you can see how the number went as high as 140 watts. And now slowly going back down to 135. So definitely probably got a lot of power on here when you guys do charge one laptop at a time. Especially if your battery percentage on your laptop's around like 10%, 20%, or anything like pretty low. So right now it's maintained around 137 watts. But if you guys would run stuff in the background on here, let me try to run something in the background and see what happens. Let me see how the number does increase on here to 144, 147, and etc. So definitely probably got way more power on here than they mentioned in terms of 140 watts. You can see. So in order for you guys to get that power on here, it does depend on your battery percentage and what you guys are using on. So while we do have this plugged in, let's try to use another cable at the same time and see what happens. So for the other cable, what I'm going to do is plug it into my MacBook Air. We probably will not provide as much power when you guys do that, but we'll still give it a try and see how it does work when you guys do that. So here I do have a MacBook Air. If you guys do plug it in for the other one, we'll plug in the second one here. So once you guys got it plugged in, let's see how much power it does provide. So currently it's providing around 200 watts of power when you guys do that, you can see. So it definitely goes way above the 200 watts of power when you guys do that. Let me try to see if I can charge one more laptop on here and see how much power it does provide when you guys do that. Let me try to do one more test on here to plug one more thing and see what happens. Because I do have one other thing which is pretty much a power bank that can probably go up to 100 watts when you guys do that. So let's see if it can go as high as 100 watts when you guys use it on there. So pretty much what this is my Anker power bank. There's a brand new Anker power bank. That's the Prime power bank. This one they mentioned how it does probably guys up to 200 watts of power. So feel free to plug in like two laptops at the same time. The reason why I want to use this one is because they mentioned how it does probably guys up to 100 watts of power when you guys do that. So I want to test it out and see how much power it does provide and when that goes as high as 300 watts when you guys do that. So let's give it a try. So I'm plugging into the last one here. So once you guys plug it in, when you guys do look at the power on here, it shows you guys the battery percentage and how much power that's being provided on here, which is really cool. That's why I really like about this product a lot, because it does show you guys how much power that's being generated on here when you guys use it. So right now it's showing around it's like 41 watts when you guys do that. So I guess when you guys are plugging multiple devices at the same time, it won't provide you guys as much power as like comparing when you guys plug in only one at a time. But just to be sure, let's see how much power it does provide when you guys look on here. So when you guys do look at it here, it does provide around 240 watts. So I don't think I have any more device that I can use to charge up to 300 watts. But you can definitely see how much power it does provide on here even when you guys charge two laptops and a power bank at the same time. So the power on here definitely does spread out when you guys do that, so keep that in mind. So the product itself is actually very powerful in terms of what you guys do get. But now let's try to use each one that output at a time and see how much power it does provide when you guys do that. So since we saw the first one already, let's try the next one. So what I want to do is unplug all the cable. And what I want to do is just bring down this cable here and bring down the next one. So that way you can see how much power it does provide when you guys do that. So if this one goes to 101 and is maintained around like 100 watts or 101 MC, it doesn't go any higher than that. So with this one, just like what they mentioned, it does probably guys up to 100 watts when you guys do that. Now let's unplug it and try the other one with the third one. So I just unplugged it and plugged it in the third one. And we see how the number on here is changing. So same thing for this one, it does probably guys very close to 100 watts or a little bit higher, which is 101 MC. So the first one definitely probably guys 140 watts. The next one probably guys 101 and 101. If you guys do unplug it and try the fourth one here, which should provide guys around 45 watts according to what they said. We do have a plugged in fourth one. And for this one right here, it does probably guys around 50 watts. So 5 more watts than what they mentioned on here, which is 45 watts, you can see. So definitely probably guys a lot of power on here when you guys do that. Feel free to use all of them at the same time or just one of them at a time, depending on how many devices you guys want to use it for and how fast you guys want to charge it. Maybe like if you guys do have a MacBook Pro, you probably want to use the fastest charging option to recharge it faster, you can see. So that's a quick little test to show you guys how it does work and what it looks like when you guys do that. So obviously for this device, when you guys do that, feel free to plug it in and leave it charging overnight if you guys do want to, because it does have the built-in protection on here. But that is pretty much everything that's on the product. Now that we show you guys what the product looks like and how it does work, now to answer the question of whether or not it's worth it or not. So for this part, I do have to say that it's pretty worth it. If you guys need one of these, especially if you guys in the market looking for a high quality desktop charger that give you guys all the different output on here and the same power dimension on here for each one of them, or just one of them at a time. That also has a guaranteed technology on here and so much more. Then I do have to say that it is pretty worth it. But then obviously for those of you guys who don't want or don't need one or haven't one of these, that basically don't buy one and save on something else you actually do need. So that's basically everything for this video itself. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button in the bottom. That will definitely help this video out, and it will definitely help with the algorithm as well to promote more videos for you guys so you guys can see more of the videos or similar videos as well. But as always, make sure to stay positive, be you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Is It Worth It? Peace.